You could be the 2-loss team that gets in. It's happened.
So OBS is live, and YouTube is live, Twitch is live. Alert on Discord, and on text. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a special Tuesday night edition of League 1. Had some power outages this weekend. Threw us for a loop. So this is going to be a special, as they might say, holiday break busy period for us. Doubleheader tonight, and then look for another doubleheader coming your way on Thursday. As you can hear, I got a little bit of a frog in my throat, so I'm gonna have to, on Wednesday go down to LSU, get the medical school to extract that and cook it up for me. But in the meantime, I won't be too verbose throughout this game. So I'm going to turn the headset right over to Coach Spectre of Washington State. Washington State is 4-1 and ranked number 5 in the country, to take a quick look at their opponent for this week, Utah, who is 1-4. Coach Spectre.
Good evening, sports fans. Coach Spectre here with a preview of Utah. The sophomore 77 quarterback, not the fastest cat. He's 10-7 touchdowns and interceptions with a 97 rating. That's only average. Not very impressive yards per carry, obviously, with 59 speed. The impact player is the halfback. He's an 85, getting almost 100 yards a game. Obviously the focal point of their offense, not throwing in too much in the passing game. His strength is not his strength, but he does have break tackle and elusiveness with some spin moves, so he's a wily character. Not too much in the fullback department. We got a couple of seniors and a junior with some speed, along with a fourth receiver with some speed. So those inside guys on the 3 and 4 receiver sets have speed to burn. Are they involved? He's getting 62 yards a game. He's getting 44 a game. And even 45 to the slot receiver. So 3 receiver sets the base formation for this team, although they do sprinkle in some 4 wide receivers. The tight end, definitely active, almost 40 yards a game, and certainly in the red zone with 7 touchdowns already. So we can look for him inside the 20. From left to right, the offensive line is a 79 left, a 78 junior left guard, a 90 senior, and a 78 injured Greg Nash. We'll check that out in a second. If he's out, they just get better with Rogers coming in. And so a average to slightly above average offensive line, powering a running game, it looks like. Defensively, a deadly left end, a deadly right end. So far, the strength of the team. Their front 3, if they play a 3-man front, really strong across the board. Linebacking core. The impact players, the 81 left. They have an 85 middle and a 77 right. Corners solid, and the seniors all senior. Free safety on a hot streak, and an excellent 89 and an 86. 2 seniors if they run the 3-3-5, which I think they do. So their starters quite deadly. A great kicker, because of, well, both power and accuracy. So a solid team, a good running team. This is a team you don't want to make too many mistakes against. They do have a great defense, as reflected in their 92 overall. So if you look at the overall stats here, we're bringing in the number 2 defense, number 1 against the run, and we're 18th in the country in rushing and rising. Utah, for their part, struggling on offense, if anything, somewhat productive in the running game, and fairly good rush defense, which should be interesting matched up against our running game, but a very poor pass defense. So that may be something that we might be looking to exploit tonight. So that's about all we've got here on the preview. We're going to be getting ready to get kicked off here shortly as we take a road trip into the Beehive State. Peterson had 32 pass attempts last game versus 9 carries for Pace. Looks like they gave up on the running game pretty early. Was that previous game? Yes, it was against USC. They were playing in catch-up mode most of that game. So not able to really employ the running game. We'll try to prevent them from employing it again here and jump out to an early lead by not turning the ball over. We'll see what we can do with regard to that. Obviously, for our part coming in, Indiana Jones only 2 touchdowns passing, but yet he's first in the Heisman race because he's destroying the ground game. 811 yards on 80 carries. He's actually averaging for the season over 10 yards a carry, and he's leading the nation in rushing. So it's one thing to lead the country in yards, but to then also lead it in average by that kind of number, and then to throw in 13 touchdowns on the ground. He's got something like 15, 16 yards or carries of 20 yards or more. 162 yards per game on the average. We try to employ the passing game. We're going to try to here tonight, obviously against this poor passing defense, and we'll see what happens. But we're just going to look to not turn the ball over. So with all that having been said, let's get started.
And while they heard everything, I realize now nobody saw anything, but that doesn't matter because they heard everything.
Everybody, Reese Davis with you, bringing you the EA Sports NCAA Football 14 pregame show presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites. Washington State's been on a roll lately, but a winning streak is only important if it continues to be a winning streak. By extending it, we'll see if they can get it done in this one. That does it for us here on the NCAA College Football pregame show. Enjoy the game. We'll see you at the half.
Utah's capital city, Salt Lake City, in Rice-Eccles Stadium.
It's time for the coin toss now, presented by Coke Zero. Real Coke taste, 0 calories. Enjoy everything.
this year.
Washington State now 1 for 5 in coin flips.
No, that makes 1 out of 6.
Sorry, what? No,
We're 4-1. This is our 6th game.
that's 1 for you, 5 against you. 1 for 5. 1 out of 6 or 1 for 5.
I think this staff really has rallied this entire team around some
So-
of the negative talk. I think they believe in their guy, that he can go on the road and make the plays and lead them to a big victory. Sometimes when you hit some adversity like that, you see teams.
And we are seeing a 3-man front here from the Utes.
Great job of doing that. Now they just have to go out and execute the plan and go out and win this game.
A lot of clear early blitzers there, and a floating pass from Indiana Jones, but Ernst Blofeld jukes backwards and turns it into good yardage.
So it's second down now. They need about 4 yards to pick
This time a 4-man front. And we see the read option keeper from Jones. And with a spin move, he makes a 32-yard rush for his first keeper of the game. Rickman takes the handoff and gets 3 yards up the middle. Washington State showing shotgun and running the ball.
from the 34-yard line. It's second down.
Indiana Jones, unable to get outside the edge defender, only gets 2 yards to make it 3rd and 5 from Utah's 32.
He's going to try and scramble. He's in trouble. And the ball bounces out of bounds.
The ball just kept scooting all over the place on the sideline, and it finally skipped out of bounds before anybody could claim it.
Valiant attempt there from Indy, but he can't escape the defenders. 48-yard field goal attempt. We know that Washington State is good at these. But it has 12 miles an hour against and oblique.
He gets it up.
And that's a fantastic kick.
Fight, fight, fight for Washington State. Win the victory.
And an undefeated Oklahoma State goes down bad to Kansas State.
You'll all do your best, so on, fight till the end. Honor and glory you must win. So fight, fight, fight for Washington State and victory.
Some interesting scores there, including a pending result from Iowa that's only a 1-score game at the moment. We'll see what happens, but the powerhouses in the Big Ten doing well this season.
And it goes into the end zone, down for a touchback.
Utah coming out 4 wide receivers and 1 back. You can see him clearly, impact player in the backfield there with the quarterback. Perry's not there fast enough, but the pass is off as the defender is bracketing. Now we see a tight end replacing the 4th wide receiver.
So it's second and 10. Ball on the 25.
Perry hits the quarterback as he throws, but the pass is completed after the tackle. Gets to 3rd and inches. And a great tackle for loss makes the 3 and out. Kerouac fields the punt. Gets a second chance and doesn't find anything. Gets a 7-yard return. Ernst Blofeld makes a miraculous catch around the defender. The pass is wide there from Indiana Jones to the wide open back, unfortunately. Utah forces the punt from Washington State. Not a great improvement in field position there as Utah now starts with the ball on their own 42. Looks like some confusion on the play there. Causes the bad pass. The screen gets read quickly and was lost for 4 yards. It's 4th and 21. Number 3, LSU loses to Wisconsin. Kerouac only with a 5-yard return here.
game. Washington State holds a field goal lead. He's at midfield. Inside the 30. The 10.
And with an incredible move inside the red zone, Indiana Jones throws a hell of a lot of shade on that Utah defense there.
He's had no problem finding running room today. That makes it 100 yards.
The blockers are getting a tremendous downfield.
Top it off with a 7-point win.
And for the Cougars, I'm sure they're well aware now with that score in that they've got an opportunity to move up in the polls if they win today. They line up to kick this one away. He just drills this one. This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback. Washington State's looking awfully impressive right now in defense, but we are in the first quarter.
This is about as dominant a first
That's a fantastic defense so far, but still a third of the quarter left to go and 3/4 of the game, guys.
Offense on their last trip out.
They've been beaten soundly on both sides of the ball, and we haven't even gotten to the second quarter.
He gets out to about the 25.
But Chad Pace clearly not yet finding his pace in this game. Peterson throws the ball away under heavy pressure.
Now, I think they've got him with some happy feet. He appears to be a bit rattled.
From their own 25-yard line. It's third down. He's under pressure. It's on the ground.
Perry doesn't make the sack this time, but does pick up the strip.
He stripped the ball right out of his hand. He scrambled. He might not be able to get the pass off. Touchdown, Cougars. Nice kick, plenty of distance. And it goes into the end zone, down for a touchback. Washington State's got a great defensive game plan.
Fantastic defense from Washington State, and clearly an offense that is working on the ground.
Because if they don't start eating into this deficit, they could easily fall out of the game.
You know, at that point, I think Rabbit quarterbacks are just better off just taking a sack. You have to be very careful if you're feeling pressure. Just throw the ball just to throw the ball. If you feel like you're not going to be able to make a play, the defense got you, just give up on that play and get ready for the next play.
They come out in a 5-wide set. Around the 36-yard line.
This guy has the innate ability to get just enough distance from the defender to make a completion possible. You don't see it from every receiver, but this guy's got it.
It's out to his receiver. He's taken down at the 50-yard line.
Nice job here by the quarterback of putting some air underneath this pass and letting his receiver catch up with it for a nice gain.
They'll spread the field with 5 wide.
Trio of good passes have got some good yardage here for Utah, finally, but they are only just into Washington State territory.
5 wide receivers in the formation. Around the 34-yard line. They come out in an empty backfield. And he can't get away from the pressure.
Indecision makes a massive loss.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna get to do. Another one bites the dust. Shoot up.
And it's caught. Brought down at about the 43-yard line. Penalty marker down in the backfield. Might be a holding call.
Roughing the passer, defense. Automatic first down.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 28-yard line. He's tackled around the 31-yard line.
Well, you think about receivers coming over the middle taking shots from this safety, but a runner who's still in the backfield, this guy just flies all over the field.
We're at play number 9 of this current drive. Tries to get around the corner. He's taken down at about the 27-yard line.
And Swan is stopped 6 yards short of first down. That's the end of the quarter. And we'll see what Utah does. Down 3 scores. Looks like they're going to kick.
And we're ready for more football here in quarter number 2. It's up, looks long enough. And it's good. Here's the update from the studio and Restake.
Time to take a peek at what's going on in South Bend. And for Pittsburgh, they've now won 3 in a row. Pittsburgh wins it 23-17.
Top 5 or whatever when they played them.
You can feel the shockwave caused by that upset all the way to our game. Everyone's all lined up and ready for the kickoff. Excellent kick. He's to the 20. And he's shoved out of bounds at the 27-yard line. You think about the challenges these two teams are facing. On one side, you've got to find a way to keep building on your lead. And on the other side, you've got to find a way to get back in it. 5 wide. He's going to try to scramble. He's wrapped.
And Jones is sacked for a big loss.
They find themselves in a hole here after that sack. It's 2nd and long. Gets out to around the 25.
And Jones gets almost half of it with an 8-yard rush.
They'll line up with 5 wide receivers. He's on the run. He's to the 40. And they make the stop at the 40.
And Jones Jones runs for 22 yards, gets the first Washington State third down conversion of the game.
37-yard line. It's first down.
Tellingly, not with a pass. Now we see John McClain in.
Around the 46-yard line.
The handoff to Rickman goes for a loss of 1.
And his tackle lands for 5 yardage. They need to get inside the 43.
Jerry Reed, while the wide open, gets tackled immediately for no yards. It is 4th and 7.
Lee is back deep to return the punt. Punts away. This one's like a line drive. It was a pretty one-sided first quarter. I wouldn't be surprised if things changed in a big way before halftime. They'll get him for a loss.
The D-line did a good job of nullifying out the blocks up front, and that allowed the linebacker to roam free and make the tackle in the backfield.
It's second and 15.
I'm sorry, guys, but that tackle was made in the backfield.
The pass was right on target, so that took a perfectly timed hard hit to knock it free. Strong defense to deny the completion.
Long reception converts first down.
He knows where he needs to be on the field so the quarterback can get him the ball. He made a terrific play to keep this drive alive.
Fires out to his right. And he's tackled at the 47-yard line. Here comes the pressure. Quick intercepted. And now he's got room to run. And he will score. Washington State ready to kick this one off. And he got all of this one. Great kick. Let's see how the defense responds now, coming off that big play just a moment ago.
This quarterback needs to be a little bit more careful because this defense is excellent on capitalizing off the mistakes.
This one will fall incomplete. in. Ball on their own 25. Nice run up the middle. Pace gets 7 yards on the play.
Pace is still with a negative average, but he gets it to third and manageable.
Nice kicks there before he stepped out of bounds.
And Burns converts it for a long gain of 16. Just over 2.5 minutes left in the quarter.
And down he goes. Down the 43-yard line. Tackle for a loss.
Super job here by the defense of filling the gaps on the line. If you keep stringing out plays like that, you can really shut an option attack down.
And here's another third down.
And the pitch goes well. Bryant gets 7 and a first down. Utah on Washington State's 38-yard line, minute 50. Coming out with a tight end and 4 wide receivers.
Ball on the 38-yard line. Receivers got the first down. The Cougars taking their first time out of the half. This is the 8th play of this drive.
Good job here by the defense. If you let this quarterback
Ginsberg gets the deflection, but not the pick.
pressure on that play.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 25-yard line. Fires out to his receiver. He's pushed down by Bates at the 13.
I'll tell you something. I'm loving this quarterback's confidence more and more as this game goes on. He's really throwing the ball with some purpose.
First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 13. And they'll bring him down behind the line.
I think sometimes offenses forget to even include corners as defenders and tacklers because a lot of corners just want to be out there and playing against the pass. But this is a corner that they have got to be responsible and remember in the future that he's got to be involved in being able to come up with a blocking scheme. This time they just let him go. He's athletic and strong enough to come up and make a play.
With a quick throw. And the defender hit it and then dropped it.
Now, you hate to foreshadow and assume that that drop is to come back to bite them, but this offense is able to put the ball into the end zone after that drop pass. This game could be over.
Here's the play of the drive. The Utes lost one of their key guys earlier to that injury. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to play any more football today. Complete touchdown.
Utah not out of it yet, getting the field goal with 1:20 left for Washington State to respond.
And he adds the extra point. A 12-play, 75-yard drive. And they come away with a touchdown. Utah. The kick. Sends it sailing downfield. He's to the 10. Got the corner. They'll bring him down at the 25.
Washington State's offense is just clicking on all cylinders, Herbie, right now. It's everything they planned for, and it's all working.
Everything is coming together for this offense. They seem to be getting better with each series. And, you know, this game started where this team was, you know, they wondered if they were going to be able to move the ball against this defense. And I think right now, I think they seem to, as I said earlier, they seem to be growing with their confidence with each possession.
It's a new possession for this offense, so what will it hold? Pitch, and he's got some room. Makes it out to about the 40.
I like how efficient the offense looked on that play. Everybody knew their assignment, and it all came together for a nice run.
From their own 40-yard line. First down. Now he tries to buy some time. Makes the catch and gets out of bounds.
It's a great job here by the quarterback of recognizing the outside linebacker blitz and delivering the football for a first down.
He's scrambling. Now he's going to run and watch out. Slides down. They move the sticks after another first down.
Impressive drive by this offense so far. I really like what they're doing by keeping this defense on their heels and moving the ball downfield.
Zips it to the back. And he's taken down at the 15.
Washington State's going to have to use their second time out of the half.
That brings up 2nd and 1.
Short yardage situation here. 2nd down and 1. Makes it to the 12-yard line. The running back goes for a short gain, but it's enough to get the first down.
Smart run. Maybe it won't look great on the stat sheet, but getting the first is what matters.
Jones comes in at quarterback.
Out to about the 12-yard line.
And the defense was just ready for that one.
We've got a 2nd and 11. Ball on the 12-yard line. Across the middle, he's got his halfback. They'll bring him down at the 4. So an empty backfield with 5 wide receivers. Gets it to his wide receiver, and he's got another one.
And with a moving clock in less than 10 seconds, they hit the drag route for the touchdown.
By the power of Grayskull. Cringer became the mighty Battle Cat, and I became He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Only 3 others share this secret.
I have a feeling this ball is going nowhere near the return man with this kickoff, most likely to end the half.
He kicks it off, and he got all of that one. This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback.
I think this defense right now needs somebody to try to lift up their spirits. They seem to really be just out there kind of going through the motions. And I think the last time they were out there where they gave up such a long drive has had an impact.
Loose football. He picks it up at the 30. Brought down at about the 33-yard line.
And the fumble gives Washington State three free points with the easy field goal here.
You're not getting the ball back.
Everyone was like, please go down, go down, go down, go down.
Well, the last time we saw this offense on the field, they drove the length of the field. And think back to what that defensive coordinator tried to do. He tried to change some things up, but nothing seemed to work. It's going to be interesting to see how he can have an impact on this drive.
But it hits the uprights. No one's low loss. A 1 second possession.
So we played two quarters. The Cougars in front.
31-10.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, everybody. Second half action about to begin.
He sends this one deep.
He sends this one deep.
And it sails out of the
It
end zone.
sails out of the end zone for a touchback.
There's got to be some sense
of urgency to this offense right now. They don't have the luxury of wasting drives if they want to get back in the game.
He might not be able to get the pass off.
The tight end in and out of his hands.
It's second and 10.
It's second and 10. Ball on the 25. He's taken down.
Chad Pace continuing to have trouble. Not being the impact player that Utah was hoping you'd be this game.
He's being forced to make really quick decisions because he doesn't have time.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. Another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna get them too. Another one bites the dust. Shoot up.
The 42-yard line.
That whole team comes
Both teams come dropping back out onto the field.
They spread the field.
They spread the field in the gun with 5 wide receivers.
Now he's scrambling.
Taven Bowser made a nice catch.
From the 20-yard line.
From the 20-yard line. First down.
Defensive coordinator.
Anticipating this 5 wide set. He comes in with his back pass. Quickly got it. Touchdown.
Beautiful throw by Jones, finally learning how to pass in the 6th game of the season.
throughout the entire team. It's no wonder this team is so competitive with him at the front leading the way.
He's under pressure. And they make the stop at about the 43-yard line. And a nice pickup there.
I'll tell you what, the defense gambled a bit here and came with the blitz, and the quarterback showed tremendous poise by making a good read and delivered a nice ball to the open man.
He's tackled at the 48. Intercepted.
Kerouac gets the deflection but can't hold on to the ball.
It's third down, and they're about the length of the football away from the first down marker. Tackle made around the 49-yard line.
But this time Peterson holds on to it on the option and loses yards. But it looks like they're going for it on 4th and 2. The Utah Utes fans a bit incensed, a bit upset. Maybe some of them are from Philadelphia.
He's tackled at about the 27-yard line. They come out at a five-wide set. And he is drilled at the 22-yard line. Five guys will be out in the pattern as they're in the shotgun. He scrambled. He gets rid of this one.
Great job by the defense of getting after that quarterback. Right now, I think they've got in with some happy feet. Appears to be a bit rattled.
Indiana Jones having a pretty damn good passing game for him. 11 out of 14 for 115 yards.
Third down now. They need to get it to the 17. And down he goes at the 14-yard line. I really
12 out of 15 there to Antonio Vivaldi.
It's not even about the defense not expecting, because I think they did.
Indeed, Doc, indeed.
He's probably bigger and stronger than the guy who's trying to cover.
He makes it out to the 11-yard line.
Dr. Jocular, there was a time before the 2-minute drill that Washington State had 24 points and 2 first downs.
11-yard line. Second down. Washington State.
By the power of Grayskull. Cringer became the mighty Battle Cat, and I became He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Only 3 others share this secret.
And they can forget about returning this one. Washington State's coaching staff will go out tonight, and I think the offensive coordinator should buy the defensive coordinator his meal.
Well, the defense has been great. There's no doubt about it. But I just think that the offense that they're facing, we've just been so conservative, so predictable. It's made it very easy for this defense to have a dominant game.
And they got him. Great play by the defense.
For that time, they came with the blitz, and the linebacker was able to get free and come away with a sack.
They find themselves in a hole here after that sack. It's second and long. Got him hard at the 24-yard line.
11-yard reception not making up for 2nd and 22. It's now 3rd and long. But the screen read perfectly.
This defense is fast enough that they can create negative yards on completed passes. So the offense might want to consider that next time they try that play.
Deep in their own territory, Utah will punt down by 35 points.
He makes it out to maybe the 46-yard line.
Kurak catches the ball and returns it into Utah territory. Another short field for Washington State.
Defense has made any adjustments after giving up a touchdown in that last drive.
As long as this quarterback has time to throw, then you can guarantee that he'll find the open man.
A fantastic pitch and good blocking means that Ernst Blofeld gets up to the 13-yard line.
So we've got a first down after a great running play. Washington State is winning big. He's on the run. He's taken off.
And Jones has some fantastic dance moves there to get into the end zone. Those last, 3 meters.
Ice cold on offense. They can't seem to get anything going.
Right now, they just have to forget the score, forget the clock, just go out there and try to get a first down, try to hope to build a little bit more confidence and continuity on this offense.
They'll spread the field with 5 wide. Hit as he threw, and he completes it. There are 5 wide receivers split out. The quarterback in the gun. He's brought down in the open field. Wide. He's got to throw it in a hurry.
They need to run some screens and some quick slants to try to take advantage of this pursuit because this defense is coming after them.
I'm astonished that the Utah quarterback can walk after that tackle.
Gets it off as he's hit. Completes. He's hit and taken down.
That brings up 3rd and 14.
Can this offense do anything?
And Peterson gets barely whiffed for the sack that time.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna get to do. Another one bites the dust. Shoot up.
And he can't hang on to the ball. And he's hammered down. He just couldn't pull that one in clean.
That's what happens when you take your eyes off the ball. This is a play that should have been made.
The main thing is they got the ball back, and now they got to work on offense. They ran the ball very well on their last drive, and it resulted in 6. Washington State up by a big margin. And here's a quick throw.
And Blofeld there for 40 yards-ish.
It's first down and 10 now after picking up some great yardage through the air. They come out in an empty backfield. Quick throw, and he's got his receiver again. They'll bring him down at about the 21. Quarterback all by himself in the backfield with 5 wideouts. Scrambling around. Inside the 10. And he's pushed out of bounds, setting up a first and goal.
First and goal to end the third as Indiana Jones takes a breather.
That's 3 down. This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback.
The Cougars defense came to play, and man, they have played beautifully.
How many do they have dressed out there? 12 or 13 defenders? I mean, they're flying all over the field, and this poor offense just can't move the ball. They have no chance.
Both teams are playing out the stretch here. You want to get experience for guys who normally don't get in the game and try to avoid injury. Just throws this one away.
Good job here by the defense. If you let this quarterback set and throw, he'll kill you all game. But they got excellent pressure on that play.
So it's 2nd and 10. Ball on their own 25. And he's hit immediately. It's on the ground, and the defense is on it. That's a pretty big mistake, and this offense will lose possession.
And another fumble. That's the third recovered fumble for Washington State this game. That is that's big. I mean, if it stands. But regardless, I think a lot of Utah players going to be carrying around that football next week.
So the question here is whether or not his knee hit the ground before the ball came out. And the booth is going to take a few looks at this to see whether or not the ball came out before he was down.
field is reversed.
So the booth and the referee agree. The runner's knee was down.
That was still a close call, though, Brad. Even though he was down, this guy has to do a better job of holding that football.
First and 10. Ball on the 48-yard line. With a quick throw. And it's caught. With a 10. He's taken down at the 3-yard line.
Shoestring tackle stops him just short.
The crowd in that line of scrimmage. First down. They spread the field in the gun with 5 wide receivers. Now he's scrambling. Room around the corner. Out of bounds at the 13-yard line. They receive with 5 wide receivers. Touchdown.
To keep him from making something more out of that play.
They come out in a 5-wide set. And for Perry, he's very close to the record for sacks in a game.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. Another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna get to do. Another one bites the dust. Shoot up.
White to punt. He gets out to about the 45-yard line. The defense has gotten a good dose of this young man's abilities today, Kirk.
So many people evaluate this quarterback and they think, of course, about his athletic ability. But what he's showing us today is an ability to also throw the football effectively. And let's also recognize the offensive line. This defense has been coming after this quarterback. And to the offensive line's credit, they've given him enough time to be able to read the defense and make good throws.
He's going to go for a home run.
What's the coach trying to prove by doing
45 yards for the touchdown to break 70. Not waiting around, not having more than one play. Nope, right now. Indiana Jones has learned how to throw the ball. We're doing it all the time for all the yards.
And he tacks on the extra point. And it looks like they're ready for the kickoff. And he got all of this one. Great kick. This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback for Washington State. They've been getting into the backfield quite a bit. Good pass rush by these guys today.
And on top of the pressure, they've also come up with the 2 takeaways.
This defense is still feeling the pressure of the passing game.
Yeah, the secondary and linebackers aren't able to make a play at the point of catch a lot of times.
Tackle right around the 28-yard line.
Rare positive yardage for Chad Pace this game. Has not yet recovered from his negative rushing average, though. Tyler Perry, breaking records in the NCAA and the box office. Tied for most sacks in a single game. Fantastic reach over tackle. Perry saying, I want it all to myself. Doing criminal things to the knees of the Utah quarterback. You can imagine that quarterback of Utah with that many sacks so far this game from just one player. He is looking to get into an ice bath as soon as he can. Jones can't quite escape, and he loses 2 yards.
He was in there in no time.
It's second and 12. Ball on the 33. They'll spread the field with 5 wide. They'll thread the needle, and it's not going to work. And he tackles him at the 42-yard line.
Coach Spectre gets a little greedy, throws it into a tight window too early. Defender goes up and grabs it.
There's a very aggressive open field tackle.
2 minutes left to go. It is Utah's ball, but it's 2nd and 10, and it is a reasonable score for football to a reasonable score in cricket.
Just under 2 to go in the game. Steps out of bounds. The 24-yard line.
And in a game where you get 8 points for a home run, cricket is not a low-scoring game, friends. It is not.
Quarterback in the gun. Empty backfield. 5 wide receivers in the formation. They bring the quarterback down.
Coaches don't like it when the quarterback
Perry trying to make sure that he wins Best Linebacker of the Year right here in this game with double-digit sacks in this game. What is he at now, like 8? No, I'm just wondering how many he has this game, and I think it's like 6 or 8.
He's got to throw it in a hurry. Well, that one should do it. A 4th down stop here late in the 4th quarter, and that should be the nail in the coffin in this game.
when the first down marker is that far away, someone's got to step up and make a play on 4th down. It just didn't happen for him here.
Now here comes the offense. And you've got to wonder, that last interception's weighing on the quarterback's mind a little.
One general rule in any game is to hold on to the ball.
Simon Phoenix gets an 8-yard reception, and Indiana Jones passes for 250 yards for the first time. He's 20 for 24.
2 yards to go. 5 wide. Gets it out to his receiver in a hurry.
Having finally understood the physics of throwing a football in a forward pass. Indiana Jones, a rugby player during high school, always familiar with how to pitch the ball, how to hand off the ball, very good at those throughout all of his previous starts. But throwing the ball forward of the line of scrimmage, not a feat he had learned until this game, as Ernst Blofeld holds onto the ball and pirouettes into the end zone.
Fight, fight, fight for Washington State. Win the victory. Win the day for crimson and gray. Best in the West, we know you'll all do your best. So on, fight till the end. Honor and glory you must win. So fight, fight, fight for Washington State and victory.
And for Missouri, they've won 2 straight.
Washington State lines up for the kickoff. He just drills this one.
48 seconds and 63 points behind. It's going to see what Utah's going to do.
A lot of folks have already gone home, and Herbie, I think we're going to make our dinner reservation. The Cougars will use their first time out of the half.
Cougars getting a sack and using a timeout. Aggressive here from Coach Spectre. Misses the sack, but 2 defenders there prevents much yardage. It's 3rd and 9.
Washington State's going to have to use their second time out of the half. Well, a nice stop there late in the 4th quarter, but this game, quite frankly, has been over for a long time, and I'm ready for it to end.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
He's at the 40, inside the 30, to the 20. He's tackled.
Jack Kerouac gets a 44-yard return to inside the red zone, 13-yard line. 24 seconds to see what Washington State wants to do with it to twist the knife for the 8th time.
They just seem like they've been in the end zone time and time again. There's not much negative.
Hannibal Lecter doesn't get into the end zone, but he gets first down on the 1-yard line, 19 seconds and 4 yards. And Ernst Blofeld catches it, and 10 seconds left. It is 86-17, soon to be 87. some upset fans in the stands.
Fight, fight, fight for Washington State. Win the victory. Win the day for crimson and gray. Best in the West, we know you'll all do your best. So on, fight till the end. Honor and glory you must win. So fight, fight, fight for Washington State and victory.
This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback.
You guys want to remember this? Fine, remember it. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't give a fuck.
The lights went out a long time ago for one of these teams anyway. They'll be put out of their misery soon. They come out in an empty backfield. The receiver, and he can't make the grab.
Just run the ball.
From their own 25-yard line. Second down. He's in trouble. Almost
Could have picked up any one of the three of them.
And the game ends with another sack for Tyler Perry. Thanks for joining us in this impressive display of scoring and sacking. We're going to take a quick break to swap a hard drive, and then you'll see number 4, Nebraska, at my number 20, Penn State.
Needless to say, we're not really big Utah fans. We would not have done this, never have done this to Colorado, but we'll do it to Utah. 87-17, the final. The defense played outstanding. Indiana Jones finally got going in the passing game. We were thrilled to see that, and obviously took advantage of trying to get him heated up, warmed up, and then some. Try to improve his season-long stats. He is, after all, in the Heisman race, and because of that, obviously, when we had the opportunity to pour it on, as you saw, we did. We're gonna let these photos get sunk in real quick and take a look and see if there was any records. Obviously, we did break the single-game sack record. That was the most impressive part of the defense. Want to see exactly how that impacted things. Yeah, negative 119 yards rushing for Utah on 29 attempts. A lot of those attempts were sacks. Those count as rushing attempts. And we did outpass them by 3 yards. And they did turn over the ball more than we did. And so we still got 265 yards on the ground. We didn't completely abandon the ground game. Obviously, a lot of that was scrambling by Indy. We'll see what he did individually here, as well as the rest of the guys. 259 rating for the game, outstanding. 7 touchdowns, outstanding, 85%. And almost 200 yards rushing. First time in 3 games he's been held under 200. Another, 3 20-plus rushes, 13-yard average. He gets it done on the ground. And obviously today through the air, through to 6 different receivers. Blofeld, the leader, with 4 touchdowns, and Lecter contributed as well. Sack-wise on defense, 11 sacks by Tyler Perry. Obliterates the single-game record and puts him into a lot of awards races, even though this was his first start. He was a second-half sub last week who came in the second half and got 4 sacks. So we thought we'd see if he could do it again. And he did, and then some. Clearly took a stranglehold on the starting left outside linebacker position. 11 sacks in 1 game. That deserves mentioning one last time. So without any other further ado, we're going to get on to the next game, which I think it's fair to say Penn State wouldn't mind if it wasn't closer. But it's going to be likely that it's a slightly closer game. And thanks for tuning in, and we'll get to this on this doubleheader here in about 5 to 7 minutes. Good evening, sports fans. We're going to take a quick look at the number 4 Nebraska Cornhuskers. They are undefeated. They are the opponent this week for Penn State. They've got a 94 quarterback with only 72 speed. He's got a pretty solid 149 rating, 9 and 4 touchdowns to interceptions ratio, with kind of a run if he has to outlook, which is the way it should be with 72 speed. Looking at their tailback, I believe their halfback is second in the Heisman race to Indiana Jones, the quarterback of Washington State. He's averaging 164 yards a game. Easy to say he's the focal point of their offense. Not too much in the passing game, mainly running, but as a 95 overall, very, very dangerous. Martin Edwards, the backup halfback, contributing an extra almost 60 yards a game, certainly a part of the action, but that's over 200 yards rushing between the two of them. A 97 wide receiver getting over 100 yards a game with 6 touchdowns. They don't involve the other receivers as much, although Guerrero is injured. Scales not chipping in with a whole lot. Looking at their tight end, the sophomore 85 helps out, but not a focal point. And across from left to right, we've got an 86, an 80, an 89, a 78 freshman, true freshman 78, and a 90 senior. 85 left end, a 91 right end, a 91 D tackle, leading the way for a solid front 4 or front 3. Left outside linebacker, very good, and 93 junior to go with a 91 senior middle linebacker. Slightly weaker on the right, a more human 81 junior, but the middle and left outside left outside linebacker and the middle linebacker certainly a threat there on the right side of the screen on defense. One really good corner, an 86, and looks like they're starting a freshman 79. They've got a senior 86. Playing in the slot, looks like maybe a 3-man base, 3-corner base defense possibly. 91 free safety and an 89 strong safety. 2 good safeties backing up those good corners that are placed unusually, although the 2 sub-80 starters for this team, the 78 right guard and the 79 corner, both quite young and promising players in their own right. So a solid opponent, Nebraska, deserving of their number 4 ranking. Didn't see a whole lot of weak spots going through their roster, and certainly dominated by that halfback who is averaging over 160 yards rushing per game, the 95 overall Heisman candidate halfback for Nebraska. As we see Penn State going through some last-minute adjustments on defense, some formation subs, something that you want to do with some frequency throughout the season. Take a look at your defensive formations that you use frequently and place your defenders in the optimal spots based on what you think your opponent that week might do, whether they favor their slot receivers or their tight end or what have you. There's some occasions where you can throw a safety into an outside linebacker position because your opponent loves to hit the 5-yard outs or the flat routes. Or you can always pop in a free safety into strong safety for more coverage based, or even corners back there if you want to go full speed. You see what looks here that Penn State putting their best corners on the outsides. Although they're strong in a lot of places, strong enough to be able to field a good starting 11 almost no matter what formation they use. Having recruited as excellently as they do, they've built up their roster. That brings us to this rivalry game. Number 4 versus number 20. Big Ten West versus Big Ten East. 2 Big Ten Conference contenders. We see 93, 93, 93 across the board for Nebraska. Certainly a quality roster. Facing off against this strong Nittany Lions team. Suffering 2 losses this season. Both heartbreakers. A 4 overtime loss in a user game, as well as a 1-point loss in a user game. Other than that, Penn State has looked impressive, including a shutout of a user in a separate game. 6th ranked offense for Nebraska coming in, led by that 8th ranked rushing offense on the strength of over 200 yards between their 2 halfbacks, 160 from their starting halfback. Penn State bringing in plenty of recruits. We see there some of our top-rated players and their best performers. There he is, Archie, number 30. Looks like it's a cold night in Happy Valley. Both teams donning regular gear, no alternate jerseys here in this game. Penn State ranked 71st in rushing touchdowns and 75th in passing touchdowns. Consistent on both sides of the ball, while Nebraska leans on the run. Those low offensive and defensive numbers for Penn State can be attributed to a ball control, clock management style of play that Penn State employs with tremendous success. Or at least has over the past 4 seasons.
Real Coca-Cola taste and 0 calories. Enjoy everything. Lined up for the kickoff, and we're ready to get this one underway.
Nebraska gets us kicked off. It goes into the paint. And Penn State will start the game on their own 25-yard line.
See what the offense can do as they come out onto the field. Empty backfield, quarterback in the gun.
5 wide for Penn State right off the bat. Stands in the pocket, completes the pass for a key 5-yard play to get us started. That first completion hard to get here on these difficult sliders. Able to get it and a couple of yards after the catch before getting laid out. Cuts the distance in half, makes it 2nd and approachable.
From their own 30-yard line. 2nd down.
Shotgun split, big formation, twin tight ends, 2 halfbacks in the backfield for Penn State. Nebraska responds with a 4-man front. It's the handoff up the gut. Britt gets 3, setting up 3rd and 2 here on this opening series of downs.
From their own 33-yard line. 3rd down.
Penn State goes to the air. Comes up with a key conversion here in the early going.
stronger than the guy who's trying to cover.
Up the gut goes Britt. 6 yards in the heart of the Nebraska defense. Going to be 2nd and 4. Just across the midfield stripe into Nebraska territory.
So it's second down now, and they need about 4 yards to pick up the first.
Shotgun wide trips for the drag route across the middle. Going for the underneath pass, the halfback out of the backfield. Britt able to get 3, his first catch of the day. That makes Arnold 3 for 3 for 19 yards, but it does leave 3rd and 1 for Penn State to overcome.
From the 46-yard line, it's 3rd down.
Shotgun wide trips again, this time up the gut. Britt gets the first down and more, 8 yards, setting up a fresh set of downs. He's a 94 overall halfback, and he's got 17 yards here in the first quarter.
Somebody's got to make a play, and that's what winning. The difference between winning a football game and losing is how you play on 3rd down.
Quick strike to the fullback, incomplete.
This wide receiver is very frustrating.
Incompletion on first down. Now Penn State knows what they need on the next 2 plays.
And this play is number 8 on the drive.
It's the eye-tight formation, Z-spot. And Nebraska was ready for it. They had the pass covered. Penn State didn't throw it into coverage. Took the sack. Saved the turnover. It's now 3rd and long. We're at the 44-yard line of the Cornhuskers.
From the 44-yard line, it's 3rd down. 5 guys will be out in the pattern as they're in the shotgun.
Incomplete pass. Arnold had to hang on long enough for the receiver to get far enough downfield, but that was a millisecond too long, and he was unable to eject the ball out of the pocket.
Jackson, back to return it. He hits a low one there.
Solid punt, going to go out of bounds inside the 10. Excellent special teams work there by the Nittany Lions. Going to set up Nebraska with the ball on their own 5-yard line. We'll see if that makes them more conservative or not. It does tend to for most coaches. Is Nebraska most coaches. Almost in the end zone. He breaks the tackle. Instead, he's off to the races across the 50. Breaks another tackle to the 30-yard line. Goes Tony Archie. A 67-yard scamper. Almost was at the goal line there. Would have been tackled at about the half-yard line if the first defender had gotten him. But after the first defender, the next defender wasn't until about 50 yards down the field, as we see Archie's speed get him outside quickly, and his ability to break the tackle obviously springing him for the long gain. That early movement by Penn State, able to draw Nebraska into a false start penalty. Going to set up first and long now. That's why it's good to move those defenders around pre-snap, even if you're not planning on doing a thing. You can draw the offense into movement. Heavy pressure by Penn State, but doesn't give up the outside edge. Able to corral the receiver after a short gain. Now going to be 2nd and 13. So the penalty coming out as a win. 2nd and long for the Cornhuskers.
It's 2nd and 13. Ball on the 31.
They run the draw. It's Archie. Penn State's focused on him. Not going to let him get anywhere. A loss of 2. As the defense has multiple defenders in the right place at the right time, ready for the run. All day in the pocket and finally gets the throw off, but Penn State's got plenty of time with the ball in the air to adjust. Knocks the ball down. Now going to be 4th and long from the 33. We'll see if Nebraska's got the leg to make this. Wide right looked like it might have had enough leg, but it was wide right regardless.
Who's the black guy? Who's the white guy?
That's going to be just outside. As Penn State doing a little strategy here in this defensive battle. Here in the early going, it's scoreless here in League 1 action. Number 4, Nebraska, taking on rival Penn State, 20th ranked, with 2 user losses in close affairs. Now, taking a look at some Nebraska personnel to see who's who so they can identify players at the line of scrimmage and hot route and audible accordingly based on what they see across the line from them. We've seen a lot of eye formations for Penn State, some eye tight. Now we see the eye normal. Britt up the gut, falls forward a couple of yards, going to take 5. You like that on first down. It's going to set up 2nd and 5. You got 2 plays to get 15 feet.
It's 2nd down, 5 to go. Ball on the 37-yard line.
Man in motion to the left, but the offensive line there on the left side for Penn State gets hung up a little bit. Unable to get off the blocks there was 65. And Nebraska's defensive end there, the right end, setting that edge, containing the run there, going to set up 3rd and 6. So that wasn't the left tackle for Penn State, that was the left guard, number 65, getting hung up there.
From their own 36-yard line. 3rd down.
Hits the tight end just shy of the first down, but he runs across the marker. Picks up 10 yards, the freshman, Derrick Henry. Tight end's been in a very important position for Penn State over the years. They're in a little bit of a transition period right here, going to the freshman, Derrick Henry, a stud recruit, but a little bit green behind the ears so far. We expect that it won't be too long before he becomes a huge part of the offense. That role occupied right now by Ernest Britt. He's got 34 yards here in the first quarter, thanks to that wise pitch on the option play.
From the 40-yard line. First down.
Options up the gut. Avery gets the ball on the A-gap play. Unable to get much there. Going to be second and long when we come back into the second quarter.
Set to resume action here in the second quarter, and we've got a tight ball game.
0-0 the score here as Penn State with the football faces second and 10. Runs levels, hits the underneath. Johnson able to scamper for an extra 7 yards after the catch. A big first down gainer. Down to the 28-yard line.
First and 10. Ball on the 28.
Coming out on that split big. 18-yard gainer by Arnold.
The quarterback made a very good decision here not to pitch. He saw a break in the defense and just hit it for a big gain.
The dump off on the angle route to Avery, and they're just within striking distance. Down to about the 2.5-yard line, facing second down.
We're at play number 9 of this current drive. They come out in a 5-wide.
Multiple receivers for Penn State, spreading them out. There's the touchdown. Out of the back of the end zone, and it's Nebraska that's going to take over on their 25. We see them coming out with 3 wide receivers and a tight end to go with Mr. Archie.
Games like this, some players try to press too much, and that can cause mistakes.
The give is to Archie to the right side, makes a couple of moves, breaks a tackle, unable to break the second one as 2 defenders bring him down after a 9-yard gain. It's going to bring his average down to 24 yards a carry.
Short yardage situation here. It's second down and 1.
Every coach's favorite down and distance, second and 1. But Penn State's ready for the run there. Gets him for a loss of 2. Archie, his first carry for negative yards on the day. Penn State ready for the run. The Heisman candidate running back. Unable to get the first. Now going to be 3rd and 3. Archie breaks a tackle, unable to break the second and third tackle as they come at the same time. And once again, Penn State gang tackling Archie on the contain. Stops them short of the first down, and they're going to be forced to punt.
They get this one off, and it's a beauty. Fielded at the 19.
Penn State's going to take over possession at their own 30-yard line of the left hash with 4:45 remaining in the second quarter, leading by 7 over number 4 Nebraska.
In a game that's this close, you can't afford to waste possessions. Penn State is up a score.
Up the gut goes Britt. He gets 3. Now going to be 2nd and 7. 37 yards on the day for the star tailback from Penn State. We see the yardage there relatively close. Penn State able to put it all together for a touchdown drive on their previous possession. The stop there opening up possibilities, but the pass rush by Nebraska doesn't buy the play action, and now Arnold is down with an injury. We're going to take a look here immediately and hop into the blue tent, see what Arnold's injury looks like. He's got a mild concussion. He's going to be out for the game, the 97 junior quarterback. And obviously going right now immediately to the depth chart to see what they have to work with. Murphy, the young freshman, is a 91 overall. We've got a walk-on quarterback otherwise, so Murphy's got to stay healthy the rest of the way. Obviously that's going to affect stamina potentially if he's got low stamina as a young player. But he's going to be the starting quarterback, starting with this third down. Wildly off target, as you would expect on his first throw. Going to bring up 4th and 7. As Penn State going to be forced to punt, and now they're going to have some time to get some clipboards and sit down with Murphy and come up with a game plan for their next drive.
Gets it away. It's low.
One of those scenarios where you hope that your defense can come up with a good performance on the day. So far, so good for them as Nebraska takes over here. Archie up the gut gets the first down. It's the second wave of tacklers that brings him down. He's got 6 carries for 86 yards, 14.3 a carry. Harris gets his first carry up the gut. Nebraska trying to catch Penn State off guard, but doesn't have the speed or athleticism to pull out much more than 3 yards. Now 2nd and 7, just across the midfield stripe. It's a run to the left. Shoestring tackle keeps it from being deadly. Instead, it's just a first down. An 8-yard carry takes Archie to 94 yards rushing. 3.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter as they announce to the rest of the crowd that Arnold will be out for the game. Archie in motion into the backfield. A pass over the middle, and Nebraska's got a first down as Penn State being forced to respond to a tough situation here. We'll see if their defense can make a stand and keep Nebraska out of the end zone.
From the 25-yard line. First down. He gets out to about the 22-yard line.
Derek Jackson gets the 15-yard catch down inside the 10-yard line. The one true receiving threat for Nebraska. The 97 overall receiver to go with the 95 tailback. It's Edwards now in the backfield for Nebraska. As Archie takes a breather, they get the touchdown pass. It scales in the back of the end zone. And we are an extra point away from a tie ball game. Penn State, of course, losing their quarterback with a concussion. He's going to miss the rest of the game. It's going to be interesting to see if Penn State tries to run a 2-minute drill here with an ice-cold freshman quarterback, or if they try to simply warm him up, get a couple of first downs by his legs, or and just get to the locker room here with something to work with in the second half.
Rivalry is the essence of the sport, and cutting the other guy's guts out, figuratively, of course, makes it all the more pleasurable.
This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback. You always want to go in the locker room with momentum.
2:22 here before the half. It's going to be an eye-tight Twins. Tristan Murphy under center for the Nittany Lions. Unfairly blocked at the line of scrimmage. Looked like the pass might have been on target. Could have been successful in an effort here to get Tristan Murphy off and running. Coming in ice cold, of course. And with these difficult sliders, that makes it really difficult for any quarterback to complete a pass, much less a freshman in his first action. Smartly running the option, makes a great pitch, picks up the block, first down and more, 26-yard gain by Avery. Great play as we see it zoomed in here. Tristan Murphy able to break the first tackle and then smartly pitches the ball. It might not be a pass, but it counts for something in an effort to get him comfortable to game action. He certainly looked ready to play on that play.
First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 49. He fights forward to about the 46.
Hands it off up the gut. 2nd and 8. Option again, pitches it again. Out of bounds this time. It's inside 2 minutes. That's going to stop the clock and allow for a breather here on offense for a couple of players. You see a little bit of yellow and some olive green there. But the out of bounds move here with 1:41. Now, Penn State, who it looked like was just looking to get some first downs, has broken a few and now is approaching scoring distance. Britt up the gut, breaks it huge into the end zone, a monster run. Looked like they were playing the outside, completely forgot about the inside. There might be small improvements on the awareness and game ability, the personal momentum, the hot streak in terms of warming up that backup quarterback. It's a small little jump in making the correct pitch, but it certainly meant a heck of a lot on that drive. A couple of times, Murphy made perfectly timed pitches as Penn State, what looked like a drive that was going to strictly get a couple of first downs, turned into a couple of big plays, obviously capped off by that 40-yard scamper right before the half. This defensive battle here offering Penn State an opportunity maybe to get the double, get the stop, get the score inside 2 minutes, get the stop, get the second score, really take control of the game right before the half. I think it's something we've all aimed for at one point or another. Penn State having an opportunity to do that here.
The Nittany Lions taking their first time out of the half.
Big play by the front four. The pocket shrinks immediately. Penn State gets enough pressure. The ball's unable to escape. And they're going to get the ball back with 2 timeouts and a little bit over a minute left here just before the half.
Avery waiting the return. Oh, excellent.
Taking care of business every day. Taking care of business every way. I've been taking care of business. It's alright. Taking care of business and working overtime.
I think this defense right now needs somebody to try to lift up their spirits. They seem to really be just out there kind of going through the motions.
Shotgun split big for the Nittany Lions. 1:09 on the clock.
Has had an impact and an effect negatively on the psyche of this defense.
Hits the angle route over the middle. 101 and moving.
But what does this do to the starters' psyche? Penn State is up by a touchdown. And he's tackled after positive yardage. He has some room.
The first down costs them about 30 seconds, but they get it. Going to be the 42-yard line now with 34 seconds. Starting to move right now, 32 seconds out of the huddle.
From the 42-yard line, it's first down. The quarterback in the gun with 5 receivers.
Completes and gets it out of bounds. 21 seconds, saves the timeout, so they can still throw over the middle. They can still throw short of the first down. They've got first down with 21 seconds remaining at the 28-yard line.
From the 28-yard line, first down. They come out in an empty backfield.
Incomplete pass takes only 2 seconds off the clock. Going to be second down now.
Second and 10. Ball on the 28-yard line.
Tripped option keeper turns into a late pitch. Slightly risky, but he gets the pitch off and gets the ball out of bounds. Takes a few seconds off the clock, but worth it to get the ball down to the 14-yard line. A 14-yard gain. Still have 2 timeouts, can still throw over the middle, and have plenty of options here.
We've got a 1st and 10. Ball on the 14. Penn State up 7 points.
Gets the completion, immediately calls the timeout. 9 seconds now. And you figure any throw at this point from the 10-yard line's got to go into the end zone. That might give you 2 shots if you get an incomplete on the first one.
Second and 6 coming up here. Ball on the 10-yard line. Quarterback all by himself in the backfield with 5 wideouts.
Hits the man over the middle, into the end zone, gets the last second touchdown with just seconds before the half, 4 seconds before the half. Penn State stakes out a 2-score lead. Huge touchdown drive with just 4 seconds remaining before the half. I'll tell you what, the kid looked all right on that drive. Tristan Murphy, the redshirt freshman backup quarterback, coming on after the injured starter. Arnold went out with a concussion. He's going to miss the rest of the game. But the backup quarterback for Penn State, the freshman, redshirt freshman Tristan Murphy, able to come on and lead that 2-minute drill after getting slightly warmed up the drive before. Looks like Nebraska's going to eat this last play for the half. Going to run the ball up the gut. Simply going to add to Archie's yards. He's going to go into the locker room at 114. But that's pales in comparison to the 2-score Penn State lead. They did start with the football, so they hoped to be up by more than a score at the half, and they indeed are, thanks to that score with just 4 seconds left before the break.
Halftime show presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites. David Pollock here in the studio as always to lend a little perspective to what just went down in the first 30 minutes. Both of these offenses have been extraordinary running the football in the first half. One of the marks of a great running back, the yards he gets after contact. One of the marks of a great offensive line, the yards the running back gets before contact, and there were plenty of both in the first half.
When you're an offensive line, you're on offensive line because you're not talented enough to play defensive line. That's a fact. So what do they want to do?
Well, they say they're smarter, though.
They are smarter, believe me. But what do they want to do? They want to get their hands on you as fast as possible. They love run blocking. It's much better than dropping backwards, kick-stepping, and try to catch a fast guy around the corner. They want to make their big mitts on you. They want to make it ugly. They want to grind the game out, and that's what they've been able to do. Everything they've done in the run game has worked so far, and the defense needs to get some stops.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a grinding second half. Penn State able to do a great job getting 2 scores after the loss of their starting quarterback. And it is those 2 scores that have them in the lead here as we start the second half. Nebraska going to come out from their own 25-yard line. Penn State's given up 158 yards, but only 7 points.
Let's see if they can hold on here for the rest of the way.
There's got to be some sense of urgency to this offense right now. They don't have the luxury of wasting drives if they want to get back in the game.
It is Archie, and Penn State is ready for it. Going to be a loss of 2. And 2nd and 12 now faces the Cornhuskers on their own 23-yard line. It's going to be a big drive here, obviously, for the Cornhuskers, as is the next drive for Penn State. They obviously got a little bit of momentum right before the half, but that momentum usually gets cut at halftime, simply due to the break. They're not starting from an entirely clean slate. Penn State still has the edge with the lead, obviously. But Nebraska's best opportunity starts right here.
This quarterback has to do a better job of the rush.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone, and another one gone, another one bites the dust. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna get to do another one bites the dust. Shoot up.
The sack makes this a 4th and very long.
That sack going to give Penn State the ball right back.
Is the punter.
It's a 3 and out to start the second half.
Taking care of business every day. Taking care of business every way. I've been taking care of business. It's alright. Taking care of business and working overtime.
Due to the 3 and out, even though it was a good punt, Penn State still starting out with excellent field position at their own 49-yard line. Triple option to the right side. Another good pitch, and Britt off to the races down the right sideline. Tackled only after a 40-yard monster gain. As Penn State's first play of the second half looks a lot like the end of the first half plays that they were running. That triple option, deadly.
So we've got a first down after a great running play.
Now to the left, gets hung up a little bit, hangs on to the football rather than risk the pitch. He'll take the 2-yard gain. That's actually his first carry, technically, although he's had several big runs that ended in pitches. Gets the completion, not much more. Penn State uncomfortable taking too many risks, and well so. Obviously, we're holding a 14-point lead. The key for them is to not turn the ball over. They're going to be facing a third down here, and if they have to settle for a field goal, that's still a 17-point lead. They'd obviously rather not.
They're at the 8. It's 3rd down.
We'll see what happens. Incomplete pass. Had it just for a second. But he is indeed a freshman, and he's not quite Superman yet. Penn State going to settle for 3 here. They line up for the kick. Gets the angle right. No, missed it wide left. It's that tough distance, that 30-yard distance from the far hash. Kind of a sharp angle. I think we've all missed those. But unfortunately, it does leave Nebraska with a crack in the door. Time not on their side, though, as they give it to Archie, and we see Penn State all over it with a user tackle. That's a loss of 2. They were looking for the handoff there. He's got over 100 yards rushing. He's a Heisman candidate. He looks good. He's broken a few big ones. But I think it's fair to say Nebraska starting to run out of time here. They're going to need to find some other weapons. Penn State's ready for Archie right now. Scales with his third reception, going to bring it to 3rd and short. We'll see if Nebraska's predictable or not. Harris, the surprising ball carrier, but the location, not a surprise for Penn State. They had bodies in the middle, and they were able to make the play and get another 3 and out. Penn State will gladly take this scenario. A scoreless second half would leave them in the winner's circle. As of the moment, there's no need to take too many chances here with this kid in the pocket. Good elusiveness there by Britt, able to get a few yards after the catch. It looked like he should have gotten stuck right then and there, but able to get 3 or 4 after the catch. Britt, of course, the main beneficiary of this second half and second quarter rushing attack by Penn State. He's gotten a few of those pitches, and he is heated up. Starting to warm up, rather. Gets the carry up the gut. Falls forward. Another 6 yards. Britt now with 136 yards rushing on only 12 carries. Penn State, of course, as you saw on that last play, happy to let the seconds melt away. They know their situation with the backup quarterback. They're not trying to do anything more than get the win. Short pass over the middle to Henry, the freshman tight end. This time he hangs on for a 5-yard gain. That's his second catch of the day. Now going to be 2nd and short.
From the 43-yard line, it's 2nd down.
Option to the left. Murphy keeps it. Breaks it out. Big time yardage. Doesn't get touched. Gets 27 yards. 2 carries for 29 yards statistically. But he has been very successful on the ground today.
From the 16-yard line, it's 1st down.
Penn State clearly not wanting to take too many chances with the young arm. Content to keep the football on the ground. Murphy gets another 2. He's got 31 yards rushing here in the second half. That'll be the last play of the third quarter. Touchdown, Nittany Lions. That's going to put them further ahead here in the late going. You see some of those defensive stats there. Hard for Nebraska to mount a comeback when the Penn State defense won't even allow them a first down.
We'll see this time around. Looks for his tight end over the middle. There he goes.
Finally able to break out from the rush. Nebraska completes one to their tight end. It's the first of the day. The sophomore 85 tight end able to make a play despite the diving effort of Singletary there, the safety for Penn State.
Singletary and Hollis got tripped up on each other's dreads.
48-yard line as Nebraska trying to make an attempt to make this game respectable here with just 6 minutes remaining, down by 21. Screen pass off to the left side. Breaks the first tackle and gets the first down, and then another 10 or 11 yards. 21-yard gain off to the left side, going to be well inside Penn State territory. But the clock, not the Cornhuskers' friend.
From the 31-yard line. First down.
Heavy rush by Penn State. Nebraska able to get rid of it. To the tight end once more. His second catch of this drive and the day. 5:43 and counting on the 23-yard line. To draw play up the middle, he gains 6 across the first down marker. 5 minutes remaining in the football game. 16-yard line, the marker.
We've got a first and 10. Ball on the 16-yard line. They're trying to stop the run here with a goal line defense.
It's a run off to the right side. Harris not able to get much. In fact, takes a loss of 1. Zach Hollis with his 6th tackle of the day. Gets the stop. Going to be second and long at the 17-yard line. Just a bit over 5 minutes remaining. It's a 3-score football game.
From the 17-yard line.
Nebraska needs a lot to happen.
Defense and their short yardage package.
Gets the pass over the middle.
They make the stop at the 1-yard line.
Penn State keeps him out. Going to make him work for it. It's going to cost Nebraska a few more seconds off of that clock. Precious seconds. We look at it now, and it shows 4:51.
First down, and they've got their eyes on that goal line. They're crowding that line of scrimmage.
Pistol formation for Nebraska. Not enough. Archie takes a loss of 3. Kevin Jones, the star outside linebacker for Penn State. Check that. No, he's a safety. I'm thinking of their right outside linebacker, but it wasn't him. It was Kevin Jones, the strong safety, coming off the edge there with the tackle. A loss of 3. Now going to be 2nd and goal and a few more precious seconds.
They're crowding the line. He's taken down at the 4.
Obviously, worst case scenario if you're a Nebraska fan. They're knocking on the door, but it's taken too much time, almost as much time as the whole drive, it feels like. If you're Penn State, this is going to come out as a win no matter what.
Here we go. 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. They go to the run and they stop.
And again short. 4th and goal. Nebraska's got no choice but to go for it. We expect them to do so. But from 1st and goal on the 1, now 4th and goal on the 4. They got down here with over 5 minutes left. This has taken well over a minute just inside the 5-yard line.
From the 4-yard line.
Gets the touchdown, but man, did it take a long time. And Penn State certainly got their money's worth out of that goal line defense. It's a 2-score football game, but now there's only 3:29 remaining.
Means they have to go for the onside.
And he tacks on the extra point. Let's throw it out to Reese now for a studio update.
Atlantic Coast Conference action in the spotlight. And for North Carolina State, they've now dropped 3 in a row. And for Roger, a terrific day. More than 300 yards passing. The Orange win it, 28-24.
Two-touchdown ball game right now. 28-14 here.
As expected, Nebraska with the onside attempt. Penn State recovers, hangs on to the ball through the tackle. It's going to be their football. Just 3:28 remaining on the clock. Nebraska with 3 timeouts. We're going to have to see how much time Penn State's able to melt away.
This drive is going to create an almost insurmountable lead. This defense has really got to step it up and make a stop.
Another triple option, this time to the left. Murphy going to keep it. A huge gain by him, a 29-yard rush. After a gain like that, he doesn't care if he runs out of bounds. It's 4 carries for 60 yards. That'll heat him up.
First down, 10 yards to go.
Clock's moving, 3:15 and counting. Another quarterback keeper. He pitches it. It's loose. Looked like maybe he got a little bit too far ahead of the pitchman. Thought he was going to keep it, but he pitched it back. His first bad pitch of the day, following several excellent ones in clutch situations throughout the 2nd and 3rd quarter. This time he escapes as the ball works its way out of bounds. But that'll make your heart skip a beat. Twin tight ends. That's the first pass in quite some time attempted by Penn State. They've been content to run the option with Murphy in most of the second half. This time he proves their faith once again. He's 8 out of 12 on the day.
They'll be looking for 6 points here.
It's the icing on the cake. It's the cherry on top. It's the touchdown that puts Penn State over the top. 34-14, 151 remaining in the ball game. That's the nail in the coffin.
That's a huge touchdown on the ground, Herbie. That might do it.
35-14, Penn State well in command. Only 151 remaining in the football game as Nebraska lines up in the shotgun set. Hands off up the gut to Archie. He gains 11. And that's really the game encapsulated. Archie's been able to get 120 yards rushing. He's done his part. But in the context of the football game, it hasn't been his plays that have made the difference.
Just throws this one away. From their own 36-yard line. Second down.
Juggled and caught on the second attempt. That put Scales 4 yards further back when he caught it. It's going to be a gain of only 1. Hollis with his 8th tackle on the day. Now setting up 3rd and long. Deep ball, double coverage. One of them gets it. It's Stevens. Gets a couple of yards after the pick, but it's the first turnover of the day for the Nittany Lions defense. As Danny Stevens leaps up, makes the catch. A wing and a prayer on that play. Nebraska heaved the ball up, even though Penn State had plenty of defenders in the region. Going to put them at +1 in the turnover column on the day. They ate a couple of sacks in the first half. They did or didn't pitch the ball in certain situations. They made every effort to not turn the ball over, and slowly and surely did to control this football game thanks to an excellent performance by their defense. And we see them now in the later stages of this football game doing pretty much whatever they'd like to do. 41 seconds remaining on the clock as Murphy now 9 out of 13 in spot duty here, coming on for an injured quarterback. Arnold out with the concussion in the first half, and Penn State able to overcome that. It's important to remember that this was a close football game when Arnold went out with that concussion. Murphy did an excellent job, an admirable job coming on as a backup quarterback. Certainly was not a hindrance to the offense, and if anything, a boost to the offense. It was the triple option, indeed, that gave Penn State the bulk of their yardage here in the second half and enabled them to run away with this football game in the second and third quarters. So it was the triple option game because of the backup quarterback, because of the desire not to put the ball in the air, that actually paved the way. Penn State's going to come away with a 21-point win here in a rivalry football game. thanks to excellent play from a backup freshman quarterback and their sterling defense. It's going to put them at 2-0 in the Big Ten Conference. They're going to be they're in excellent position to make a run here for the East Division in the Big Ten. They're going to move way up the rankings, get a big boost from knocking off number 4, the undefeated Nebraska Cornhuskers. Once again, we thank you for joining us. That's the end of our doubleheader. We hope that you'll join us in 2 days' time. Thursday night, we will once again be broadcasting. We've got a doubleheader there for Washington State and Penn State in next week's action. 150 yards by Britt gets in player of the game. Murphy, an excellent field general at the quarterback position, and Penn State runs away with a 21-point win over arch rival Nebraska, number 4 Nebraska, as we look to see what Penn State might be ranked in 2 days' time when we rejoin League 1 in Season 11. Once again, thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.